Hello, everyone, and welcome to at Lafayette Live for Monday, May 13th. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. It's early in the week, Monday, but I hope you had a great weekend as well. So, here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Indiana Beach a little bit more. I know. A little bit about the northern lights that have been happening here in the Lafayette area. We're going to talk about racing, both here in Lafayette, and as you can imagine, it's May. Also down, there's a big race happening down in Indianapolis. And then we're going to talk about some summer camps here in the area. But while we gear up for that, I'd like to remind you that if you would, take this moment to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out and helps us keep bringing you great content week after week, and we love that you're here, so go ahead and hit that button. All right, well, it's Monday. Everybody's gathering. Let's jump right in. So, this last weekend, Indiana Beach opened. Now, I wasn't able to get to the pass holder preview Friday night for the new All-American Triple Loop, but that's okay. I had to work. Pretty busy that evening, and turns out it has a 59-inch height requirement, so my boys unfortunately are a little shorter than that, so it wouldn't have mattered. But we got there Sunday evening, and in about 3 hours we were able to ride 10 rides. But here it is. I didn't ride it, but this is the All-American Triple Loop, live and in person as I saw it Sunday evening. They had one train running. The trains seat 12 people. When I was there, it looked like there were a whole lot more people standing around watching than there were actually riding it. But you go up the initial lift hill and then shoot down into this boomerang and right back up, pick up a little bit of energy, and head down, I believe, into the first of the upside down loops. And we hit 2 in a row, number 1 and number 2. Now, this roller coaster, unlike some of the others, only ran its chain lift when it was actually time for the coaster to head up the hill. So there was quite a bit of noise difference when it was running versus when it was not running. Then hits the third loop and on around for a few more bends, heading back for the stations. So it sure looked like a fun ride. I am definitely going to ride it some point this summer. I just didn't get out there to ride it this weekend. But, you know, being opening weekend, it was pretty, and Sunday evening, it was pretty, slow is not the word I'm looking for. The lines were not long at all. It was pretty awesome. So if you're into roller coasters, you should definitely go check that out. So before we jump into our next topic, just a reminder, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. So it's been pretty in the sky the last couple of evenings here in the Lafayette area. The northern lights have gotten this far south. I've actually seen some pictures. They are as far south as at least Indianapolis, and maybe even a little further south than that. So give me just a second here. So these are some pictures from the area. Pretty impressive, I think. These are some from some viewers from the area. Now, I found the camera definitely showed them a little better than the eye did, but it was still pretty amazing no matter what. Here, let's check out one more picture. So these are pictures that my wife took from our back porch. So the first picture on the left was actually 2 nights ago now. She made this picture yesterday evening. And then the picture on the right is from last night. we got a tall tree line there, so it was definitely a little harder to see the some of the lower stuff going on for us. But pretty amazing to see here in the Lafayette area. Here's another shot. Like I said, I think the pictures definitely do it more justice than the eye did. But I mean, how often can you say that you see the northern lights here in Indiana? So that was pretty cool. I think that's mostly wrapped up. I think they're not predicting any more solar storm activity high enough to cause them to be seen down here. So that was pretty cool. Definitely memorable. You got a solar eclipse and the northern lights all inside of a month. That's pretty awesome. All right, racing. Let's talk racing. So it is May in Indiana, so that means racing. But we're going to start with racing here in Lafayette, not down in Indianapolis. Lafayette for years and years and years, and I think they took one small break, has had a soapbox derby. Here, the cars actually look like this. And they're looking for drivers. So the derby is coming up here on June 15th. So we have just about a month to go until the derby. It is currently June 13th. But if you're interested in driving, if you've got a kid who might be interested in doing this, they're going to have clinics for new racers on Monday, Tuesday. Oh my goodness. I got to check my data on this. Okay, so they're going to have clinics this Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 6 to 9 o'clock at 445 Moreland Drive. And then the reason that I'm confused, I think the piece that I'm looking at just has the date wrong. It actually says April 22nd, but I believe they mean May 22nd. May 22nd through the 24th. And then the race itself is going to be June 15th on the hill in front of the West Lafayette junior and senior high schools. So should be a lot of fun. If you're into racing, you should go check it out. So that's racing news number 1 for the week, because like I said, it is May in Indiana. Now, you might tune me out if I say this. I'm not a huge IndyCar fan. I am an open wheel racing fan, but I'm an F1 fan. I definitely enjoy street races much more than ovals, but I do understand the spectacle that is the Indy 500. So it's coming up here in just a few weeks. So I thought we'd talk about it this week rather than the leading right up to it. So it's going to be Sunday, May 26th. And then, of course, you've got Carb Day and the festival and all the other things leading up to the Indy 500. But what can you take with you? Of course, you can buy concessions there, but do you want to pay their prices? So here's a rundown of what you can take. You can take water. You can take it in a Camelback if you don't want to carry it around in your hand. Pro tip. Or, just some plastic bottles, of course. You are allowed to take soft drinks, wine, and beer. You just can't take glass bottles. They have to be in plastic or aluminum cans. Now, if you're going into the pit area, you can't bring coolers or alcohol in there. Now, how are you going to haul all this stuff around? You can bring a cooler, but it's limited in size, and I think this is even smaller than your carry-on size for an airplane, so good luck with that. Maximum size for your coolers at the Indy 500 this year, 18 inches by 15 inches by 15 inches. Anybody planning on going down to the Indy 500 this year? Throw it in the chat if you are. I'd love to see who's going. Now, I think you can bring a cooler per person. So you can bring multiple coolers, but now you're stuck hauling those coolers around. You can bring carts and wagons. It's such a big place that they're going to make it as easy as possible for you. You can do that every day except the actual race day. So if you're there for practice, if you're there for carb day, take your carts and wagons. Now, what you can't take your dogs, with the exception of service animals. And I can't take your dogs. I should have said can't take your pets, can't take your animals. Of course, a service animal, not a pet. Certainly, if you have a disability, you can most certainly take your service animal, but don't take Fluffy with you. You can take flags, signs, and banners. You may not obstruct the view of others at the race. Nothing obscene, nothing offensive. Let's all just try to get along, right? Not too much to ask. And they're not allowed in the concert areas, and you can't take flagpoles either. So there's a quick little rundown. So you can take all the beer that you want that fits inside of an 18 by 15 by 15 cooler. I guess you could bring a 24 pack and just throw it in your wagon and have warm beer. Here's some mobility information, things you can take with you. So, of course, you can take strollers, except in the concert and VIP areas. And mobility devices, of course. You can't take your golf cart, your ATV, because you take your four-wheeler to the racetrack. Scooters, mini bikes, no rollerblading, skateboards, skates. They call out pogo sticks specifically. You got to wonder what kind of incident they had with pogo sticks to not specifically allow pogo sticks. And you can't take your bike onto the grounds, but you can park them at gates 1, 6, and 9. You can take a lawn chair or a folding camp chair. This is great if you're sitting on the hill. If you're not sitting in the bleachers, obviously, or, if you're lucky enough to have a box. Anybody in the chat have a box? Yeah, I don't see anybody throwing down that they've got a box. But if you happen to have one and you got some space available, hey, give me a call. Odd. They specifically call out that you can't take a kiddie swimming pool. I'm guessing that somebody thought they'd bring one to put their beer in, but no. So, no smoking, no electronic cigarette, no vaporizers in the grandstands. You have to do it 20 feet away from the buildings and the seating entrances. And you can do it in the infield as well. So basically, stay away from the structures. No drones. I know that's a shocker. You can take your binoculars. No selfie sticks. Are selfie sticks still popular? I didn't think so, but outside of the crazy people like me who create content. You can bring an umbrella, if it's going to rain or if it's going to sun, think about sitting out there all day long in the sun. All right, so that's the quick rundown of what you can or can't bring with you. It gets into some more crazy things: aerosol, laser pointers, trampoline, scaffolding. I don't know. The important thing is you can bring your own liquids. You can bring your food into the Indy 500, so you don't necessarily have to pay the crazy prices at the concession stand. So that's what you can and can't take to the Indy 500. Maybe we'll talk more about it in the coming weeks if you guys are interested in such things. There is an F1 race this weekend, Imola. So if you're into fast races, check that out. We're we're big fans of F1 TV around here. You got wall-to-wall coverage, all the practices, all the uh, uh, everything. Okay, what's next? Oh yes, hit that subscribe button. If you're enjoying this video, if you'd like to see more, just go ahead and take a moment and hit that subscribe button. And just a reminder, I'm Jeff Gooch, realtor with At Properties here in Lafayette. If you're looking for a home in the Greater Lafayette area, I'd love to help you out. Give me a call or a text. My information is in the description down below, but it's 765-413-6190. All right. So school's been wrapping up or I guess school is wrapping up in the coming days and weeks. Purdue is done, so the college kids here in the area are done. They had commencement at Purdue this last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Tippecanoe School Corporation, the Lafayette School Corporation, the West Lafayette School Corporation, and Lafayette Catholic Schools will be wrapping up here in the next 2 and 3 weeks in May. So what's there to do in the summer in Lafayette? So I thought that we would talk today about summer camps, and I've picked 3 different ones to talk about. So first off, we've got Imagination Station. So Imagination Station is Lafayette's Science Museum, Children's Museum. It's right here in town. Bring up the map here. You can see it's actually right here on Cincinnati Street on Cincinnati, and that'd be 654. That's 2nd, 3rd Street, Cincinnati and 3rd, right there. It's a pretty cool facility. I don't want to oversell it. I don't want to undersell it either. I mean, it's really, really hard to compare children's museums to anything like the Indianapolis Children's Museum down in Indy. It's, you know, the top children's museum in the country. So like any comparison is really not fair. But this is 2 floors of science and technology exploration here in the Lafayette area, and they put on some really great programming. But this summer they have several camps. Here, I'll bring up their flyer so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. So they have a series of camps here in the coming weeks. And I'm talking about summer camps in the concept of something for kids to do in the summer. Not child care for the entire summer, not taking care of somebody, you know, for months at a time. These are just some fun activities. Some of them are a few days, some of them are a week. But you can see they've got astronaut camp from June 10th through 12th. So that's Monday to Wednesday. Younger kids 5 to 7 in the morning, 9 a.m. to noon, and older kids 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. In the afternoon. It's a pretty sweet deal. It's only $75 if you're a member and $85 if you're not a member, and their memberships are not that expensive. I don't have that number in front of me. So if you're into space, astronaut camp, art camp in July, Monday, Tuesday, July 8th and 9th from 9 to 3 for the for ages 6 to 11. So they're going to work on some henna and some collages, sculpture, figure drawing, making art using science. That's an interesting concept. What do we think about that? Art and science together? I mean, you really can't separate the two. And then we've got science camp towards the end of July, Monday and Tuesday, July 29th and 30th from 9 to 3 for ages 7 to 11. They're doing some cool stuff there and some not so cool stuff. Sorry, frogs and snakes are not really my thing, but you know. Again, that's just a really great deal, and you know they're right here in town. So if you're looking for something to do that's you know, that's pretty affordable for a multi-day summer camp activity, go check that out. So that's Imagination Station. Next, we're going to talk about Camp Tecumseh. Camp Tecumseh is a camp that's run by the YMCA, and it's just a little north of town. Here's the map, and Camp Tecumseh is located just off of Springboro Road here on the Tippecanoe River. That is a half-hour drive from Lafayette. From my house, it's a 10 to 15-minute drive. It is not far away at all. And it is a camp with just an absolutely sterling reputation in every sense of the word, in programming and staff and facilities. And one of the reasons that I'm hesitant to talk about it is because it is so popular. It is really, really, really hard to get into. The moment they open their bookings, they book up right away, and they're pretty much already booked up and have, long wait lists for the entire summer already. Now, that being said, I wanted to talk about it because it is such a cool camp, and it's worth getting on the wait list, and you'll know about it for next year as well. I mean, they've already got postings on their website talking about what 2025 is going to look at like. But here, let's take a browse through some stuff here. And while we're doing that, remember, hit that subscribe button. Help us out. So this is a picture of the waterfront area on the Tippecanoe River. And, you can see they've got all the paddle sports. They've got canoes and kayaks and the stand-up paddle boards. It's a really, really cool place. I'm just going to scroll down. I'm not going to talk about it all in detail, but this is their main building. I mean, it's like, an old-timey town on the inside. Got Native American style canoes hanging from the ceiling. And their facilities are just second to none. Their dining hall, their meeting rooms, their cabins. I mean, it's not roughing it by any means. It's more glamping than camping, but it is a great way for kids to get away and have some fun in the summer. Just gonna scroll down here. I mean, we're looking at meeting rooms here. So there's the dining hall. And I'm going to keep scrolling down. I want to show you some of the cabins there, but there are just so many facilities here at this place. I mean, look at those light fixtures. Those are actually kind of my style. I might go take some of those and hang them in my living room. Might bump my head into them quite a bit, but that's all right. Scrolling. Got the moose head on the fireplace. I understand if taxidermy is not your thing, but it definitely does fit the aesthetic of this room. But anyway, lots and lots of facilities. I'm going to scroll fast here. So just hang on. Actually, I'm going to come back to me while I scroll fast. You guys don't need to watch that. Let's go to the cabins. Yeah. So here you go. This is the front of a cabin. Like I said, glamping, not camping. Bunk beds with mattresses, not really roughing it by any means. Large attic fans to turn air over in the summer, heat in the winter. So, and then let's check out their program areas a little bit. So look at that rock wall, and they've got the zip lines. I mean, the water activities. I've already looked at that. Of course, you got the mandatory summer camp pool. Now, the cool thing about Camp Tecumseh is they actually run programming all year long, and you can actually have like a family getaway. We'll talk about that more some other time, but obviously not during the summer when they're busy with all this programming. But if you want to go have a getaway for your summer for your family, you can actually do that during the year. Now, of course, the YMCA, is a faith-based organization. I mean, the word Christian is in the name, so they do touch on faith there. So if that's not your thing, understand. I always get a kick out of the name of their climbing tower, Mount Wood. Um, really interesting climbing tower, routes for various ability types. Just really, really cool. So that's some of their facilities. They've got the ropes course. Archery. You have a rifle range if you're into such things. Now, one of the things that Tecumseh is really, really known for are their horses. Not many summer camps can have horse farms, and you can actually get your fill of horses in as part of your summer camping here at Tecumseh. All right, so I hope I've sold you on how cool Camp Tecumseh is. Just checking here to make sure I haven't missed anything. There's a giant suspension bridge. Everybody want to go jump on the suspension bridge? All right. Now, let's talk dates, availability, pricing, and that sort of things. So they have options for overnight, they have options for equestrian, and they have options for day camp. The overnights are ages 8 to 15. Equestrian summer camps are ages 11 to 15. And day camp is ages 5 to 12. Boys overnight, and they do it basically weekly. Here's the schedule for boys overnight. You can see we have June 9th through 15th, and again the 16th, and on and on and on. And you see they're all waitlisted. I admit it's not cheap. It's $850. But consider for a moment that's about $720, about $120 some dollars per day. You would normally pay that for just a hotel. So it's not cheap, but man, what you get for the money, it's pretty amazing. So boys overnight, and then they run the girls overnight concurrently. They just, of course, the boys and girls have separate, separate cabin areas. Also $850. The equestrian camps that run through the same time are an extra $100, $950 each. And the day camp is a steal of a deal at only $195. So that's definitely a deal where you get all of the activities, most of the activities, but you don't have to worry about the extra price and staying overnight. So that's Camp Tecumseh. It's really cool. You should go check it out. The next one that I wanted to talk about and is, I'm going to pull that up on the map, but Columbian Park Zoo. It is right in Lafayette, right in the middle of Lafayette. I mean, it is the heart of Lafayette, essentially. It's really, really cool that we have an urban zoo. And, there's not lions and tigers and giraffes. And, I should really have my boys here to talk you through, the animals that they do have. But it's a really cool zoo for our community. But they have summer camps. And I'm fighting my technology here. I can't talk amongst yourselves, have some coffee. See if I can't get this window to move for me. There it goes. Excellent. Aha. Too many windows open. See what happens when I'm trying to manage everything myself. I think I may have closed the wrong window. Nope, there it is. Okay. Columbian Park Zoo has a series of summer camps, and they are 5-day camps, 9 a.m. to noon. What do you guys think about Columbian Park? Pretty cool place. 9 a.m. to noon for the younger set. And that younger set is ages 5 to 7. And then 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for ages 8 to 11. So they have sessions starting June 3rd and then running every week through the end of summer. Looks like the last session ends on August the 9th. What's for dinner camp? Did you ever wonder what the zookeepers feed the animals? We'll study how animals find and catch their meals in the wild and try our hand at preparing a zoo diet. Only $125. Most of these are $125. So that's ages 5 to 7. They have Zoo Clues Camp, Peekazoo Trainer Camp. Yeah, their education programs really are fantastic. I know my boys enjoy every one of them they've ever been to. Dinosaur Roar Camp for ages 5 to 7. Travel back in time to the days when dinosaurs roamed the earth. We'll learn about dinosaurs by studying their living relatives, modern reptiles and birds. Animal Transformers. That's a cool one. Explore how animals change and grow. They're going to study life cycle, seasonal changes, and how animals respond to danger. So those are all ages 5 to 7s that I've read through so far. Let's go check out some of the ages 8 to 11. Mysterious Planet Camp, Camp Hippo. You're going to explore how we can save wildlife by solving the 5 major threats to wildlife biodiversity, which can be remembered using the mnemonic device Hippo, Hippo. That sounds like fun. Zoomanji, Unboard Games. This one is $225. Several of the, most of the ages 8 to 11 are $225. Of course, you're getting double the amount of time because you're there all the way to 4 p.m. Boredom is no fun for anyone, including animals. We'll spend a week learning about the importance of an enrichment for zoo animals, pets, and people too. Campers will play a variety of games and game styles. Facilitated by zoo staff, they will also build enrichments for both Columbian Park Zoo animal residents and for their families at home. I mean, that sounds like a good time. I kind of want to do that. They have zoo camps for adults. AI, Animal Intelligence Camp. Sounds like fun. So that is a third choice. Now I have one more bonus for you. I was going to talk about 2, but I'm going to talk about 3. But while I this next one, remember, hit that subscribe button. I have a little bit of a personal interest in this next one that I'm going to talk about, but that's okay. It's my show, so I can have a personal interest in it. I mean, really, I have a personal interest in all of this. I am pulling it up. I want to have it in front of me because despite the fact that I'm helping part of it. We have a bonus one, and that is Cub Scout Day Camp. Now, this one comes with a little bit of a caveat. you have to be a registered Cub Scout in order to attend. But if you're not a registered Cub Scout, you can become a Cub Scout. We're going to be out at Carey Camp, and let me pull up my map and show you where Carey Camp is. So a lot of Cub Scout councils only have one campsite, and they tend to be really far away. Here's ours. This is the location of Carey Camp. I'm showing you the trading post right here, but this is camp all around here. There's a lot of green around it. South Fork of the Wildcat River right here, but I'm going to zoom out. You ready? Here we go. Check this out. Carey Camp is just east of the East Side Mire. Here's I-65. Here's 26. I always tell my Cub Scout parents when they come out and camp with us for the first time, it's a great introduction to camping. There's a Starbucks right around the corner if you got to get your coffee fix and if you forget something at home. But this gives you kind of the feel of wilderness, but it's super close to town. So we're going to have all sorts of activities. We're going to have hiking. We're going to have range sports. We're going to have slingshots. We're going to have fishing. The older Cub Scouts are going to cook for themselves in a solar oven. You guys are probably tired of looking at the map. We have a lot of fun activities planned out there. We're going to do swimming. So this is going to be, I should have this memorized by now, but I don't. June 17th through the 21st from 8:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the evening, $200 per scout. And we're going to have some before and after care available as well. So it's kind of a great option here in town. So if you're involved in Cub Scouts, if you're thinking about getting involved in Cub Scouts, this is a great fun opportunity for you. So there you go. We've talked about 4 different summer camps. We've covered Imagination Station, the science center here in town. We've talked about Camp Tecumseh, which is just an amazing YMCA-sponsored camp just a little north of town. We've talked about Columbian Park Zoo here in Lafayette. And as a bonus, we talked about Cub Scout Day Camp at Carey Camp. So I hope you have found this week's episode interesting. If you're looking for home here in the Lafayette area, I'd love to chat with you about your needs. And as you can tell, I really love this area, and we've got a great team at Properties to help you out with that sort of thing. Take a moment, hit that subscribe button, push the like button if you don't mind, and check out our content on our channel. We have all sorts of interesting videos about Lafayette, both about things going on around town, interesting places in town. Of course, there's some real estate stuff. So if you want to find out a little bit more about real estate, whether it's theoretical real estate stuff, or if you want to find out a little more about homes in the area, there's some pretty cool home tours. Go subscribe and check it out. And that's going to bring At Lafayette Live for this Monday to a close. Come and join us again next Monday, May 20th at 7 o'clock for the next episode of At Lafayette Live. Have a great week, guys.